If you struggle to eat healthy when you're eating out, here are 8 tips to help you make a smarter order. In this episode, you're going to learn some things that you can apply before you actually go to the restaurant, while you're sitting down at the table, and when you're actually speaking with your server. Before we dive in, if you're listening on the Apple Podcast app or on Spotify, make sure you hit the follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit like and subscribe down below. Today, I'm really excited to talk about a topic that I honestly personally struggle with a decent amount, and that is eating out healthily at restaurants. And before I dive into the 8 tips that we're going to share with you guys today, I want to talk about how I think a big part of this is mindset. I know that when I was growing up, I ate at home most of the time. I had the blessing that my mom was a really good cook. She made 90% of our meals, maybe 80% of our meals at home. And so we were eating at home a lot. And whenever we were going out, it kind of felt like a treat. It felt like, we're going out to eat. We can order whatever it is that we want. We can order things on the menu that we wouldn't necessarily get at home, like chicken tenders, French fries, hamburgers, pizza, like unhealthy things like that. And so I kind of had this association of when you go out to eat, these are the things that you have. These are the things that you order. And so now that I'm older, I probably still have about the same ratio of eating this 80 to 90% of my meals at home versus the other 10 to 20% when I'm eating out, but I'm much more mindful and I'm much more willing and I desire to order healthy things when I eat out, both because I want to make myself feel good, I want to look good, I want to perform well, and because I'm a fitness trainer and I try to encourage people to eat out and eat healthy as much as you can. And the other thing that I want to share is I know that a lot of you guys listening don't cook at home as much as I do. I know you don't maybe eat at home 80 to 90% of the time. And so when you eat at home 80 to 90% of the time, you can afford making unhealthier decisions when you go eat out because that's only 10 to 20% of your meals. But if you're eating out regularly, like a lot of you guys are, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus times a week, you have to have the discipline to make healthier decisions when you go out if you're looking to achieve your health and fitness goals. It is an absolute must. So these 8 tips, they're not just necessarily recommendations. They're like must-dos if you're looking to achieve your health and fitness goals and you're going to eat out at restaurants more than 3 times per week. Now, these 8 tips, you're not going to want to apply all 8 of them. I would say listen to all of them, figure out which 1, 2, 3, or 4 will really help you out. And maybe like one helps you out in one instance and another helps you out in a different instance. And then you choose a different one for a different instance. It's really important that you can apply these different tips to different situations depending on the situation, depending on the circumstance. So let's dive into the 8 tips for eating healthy at restaurants. The first one is looking at the menu before you even go. Now, this is something that my fiance Kennedy is so good at and something that I'm wanting to continue to get better at because I know for me, before I go out to a restaurant, I can often have the intention of I want to eat healthy when I go out to eat. But then I get into the restaurant and I'm seeing different dishes and plates being carried out to different people. And I'm like, man, that looks really good. Or I'm starting to smell some of the fried smell and just some of the unhealthy foods. And I'm like, man, that smells really good. I want to get that. Or maybe if I'm having alcohol at that dinner, I have a drink of alcohol and I have less willpower to order something healthy. And so if I just look at the menu beforehand, then I don't even have to make a decision when I go. And I can decide in advance what I'm going to order, therefore I don't fall temptation to these other things. And also, if you look at the menu beforehand, you might be able to pivot where you actually go out to eat, and you might be able to select a place that has healthier options, and so you don't get handcuffed when you actually go to the restaurant. So tip number 2 is looking at the menu beforehand. At almost every single restaurant you can do this by just pulling up your Google Maps, clicking on the website, and boom, there's the menu, quick and easy. So number 1, look at the menu beforehand so you don't have to make a decision on the spot. Number 2 is more practical when you're sitting at the table and you're actually ordering. Look out for oils and sauces. Oils and sauces are not necessarily inherently unhealthy. It's the quantity with which we consume them that really racks up our calories, because oils and sauces are usually filled with fats, sometimes healthy fats, sometimes not. Therefore, they're going to be really high in calories because every 1 gram of fat equals 9 grams of calories. And so if you're having a couple of tubs of ranch dressing or a number of tubs or of whatever dressing it is or whatever sauce it is, you're going to rack up the calories really quickly. And oftentimes they'll put the mayo, the ketchup, the ranch, whatever it is on it, but always ask for it on the side because they always usually slabber it on there to make it as tasty and as flavorful as possible, but ask them to have it on the side. Another little tip that you can do that I've heard people, I've actually never done this myself, and I probably need to experiment with it, is you can tell your server that you're allergic to certain kinds of oils. You can tell them that I'm allergic to oils, I need extra virgin olive oil, or I need avocado oil. Can we make that happen? And most kitchens will be able to do that. Again, I have not experimented with that myself, but I've heard a number of people doing that. And I think there's actually apps out there. I think Seed Oil Scout. Now, don't quote me on that, but I think I downloaded an app that somebody recommended to me a while ago that's coming up in my head right now called like Seed Oil Scout, and will tell you which restaurants cook with which oils. And again, you can go there and say, I have an allergy to canola oil. Can we make this with extra virgin olive oil? And they will obey that request. So number 2 is look out for oils and sauces. Ask for them on the side and potentially even tell your server that you're allergic to the unhealthy ones and get something like extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. Third tip is simply just a rule, and it's no appetizers. Again, I grew up very fortunate that appetizers weren't something that we ordered. It wasn't something that we ordered. And I know so many people, when they go out to eat, whether it's with their significant other, their friends, or their family, it's just like appetizers are a norm. But it's not that appetizers are inherently unhealthy. Most of them usually are, however. But most of them are just going to, again, increase your calorie count super, super quickly. And a lot of what we want to do when we're going out to eat at restaurants is calorie management, is load management, because oftentimes the portion sizes are already really big. And then we might be consuming alcohol. And if we have an appetizer and the dessert, we're easily getting over 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 calories at that meal. So an easy rule that you can make for tip number 3 is no appetizers. Number 4 is if you're going to do dessert or alcohol, pick one. If you're going to do dessert or alcohol, pick one. Again, this is for so many different reasons. Obviously because of calories, obviously because of blood sugar, obviously because of how you're going to feel the next day. And so I personally never really do dessert when I go out to restaurants. And I would say never really, meaning like maybe 1% of the time I do dessert. And that's only because somebody else at the table ordered it and it's or somebody's birthday or it's a specific celebration. But if you're doing dessert or alcohol, pick one, not both. Pick one. So that's tip number 4. Number 5 is, and I have not done this. I remember I heard it a while back, and I need to actually start doing this. But I've gotten better at my ordering what I actually order. But number 5 is ask for a to-go box right when your food comes. So like right when your server gives you your meal, ask for a to-go box, because as you guys have seen and probably recognized and become aware of, is when you go out to eat, the portion sizes have just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I know if you guys are anything like me, I'm the guy who's like, I need a clean plate. Like I do not like leaving food on the table. That's just kind of how I was raised. I grew up trying to like beat my brother and how much I could actually eat, and so I just don't like leaving food on the plate. If you like leaving food on the plate and that's you, more power to you. You don't need to ask for a to-go box, but I know for those of you guys who are like, I don't want to leave any food on this plate, or I'm going to feel bad if I leave food on this plate, ask for a to-go box. Immediately, if you see that portion size is too big, go ahead and put some food in that to-go box, because then you're not going to be as tempted to eat it. So number 6 is ask for a to-go box right when the food comes to control, obviously, your portion size. So we said look at your menu beforehand, look out for oils and sauces, no appetizers. If you're doing dessert or alcohol, pick one. Number 5 was ask for a to-go box when the food comes. Number 6 is, and again, I haven't actually done this yet, but I've kind of am wanting to and am experimenting with it. So it's order what somebody else orders. So for example, Kennedy, my fiance, she just does so much better at ordering a healthy option when we go out to restaurants usually than I do. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to look at the menu. I'm just going to say, after she orders, I want what she's having, or make it 2, or I'll do that. And therefore, no decision fatigue. I'm just completely putting it in the hands of somebody else. And me and her usually like the same food, so that would usually work out well for me. So complete open honesty. I haven't actually done that yet, but it is something that, you know what, I really need to do that here in the next week or 2 when we go out. So order what somebody else is ordering. Obviously, if your food tastes, or if your taste buds are similar, you like similar things, and obviously only if that person actually orders healthy meals. Then tip number 7 is drink a glass of water. Or excuse me, this is tip number 7 or 8. I'll have to go back and count. Drink a glass of water before ordering any alcohol. Again, if you're like me, oftentimes when you go out, it's on the weekend and you might be ordering alcohol. Completely fine. Obviously, within reason. Make sure you're not driving drunk. But drinking a glass of water before you order alcohol, 1, provides you with hydration. 2, makes you fuller. 3, just gives you less time to be able to drink alcohol when you're at the table and maybe less desiring of more alcoholic beverages. So drink a glass of water before ordering any alcohol. So let's go back through the tips. Look at the menu beforehand. Look out for oils and sauces. No appetizers. Dessert or alcohol, pick one. Ask for to-go box. Order what somebody else is having. Drink a glass of water before ordering. And then tip number 8 is make it not as bad as it could be. Now, this can mean a lot of different things. If you're ordering a hamburger, ask for no bun. If you're ordering an unhealthy main meal, order a healthy side. If you're ordering a salad, ask for no cheese, or ask for no bacon, or ask for cheese and bacon on the side so you can regulate your quantities a little bit. There's always a way where even if you're going to the unhealthiest of restaurants, you can make it not as bad as it could be. Even if you're going to McDonald's, you can ask for 2 burger patties and no bun. And then you can ask for a cup of fruit on the side. I think a lot of us handcuff ourselves mentally by thinking if we go to an unhealthy restaurant, there's no way of making it healthy at all. We can always find a way to make it not as bad as it could be by 1, regulating our quantities, and 2, by doing some of these other things like asking for no bun, having a healthy side, asking for cheese or bacon on the side, or anything like that. If we can do these things, if we can apply one or multiple of these tips when we go out to eat at restaurants, we're going to feel less crappy when we're leaving that restaurant. We're going to feel better about ourselves and proud about ourselves because of the decisions that we made. And then therefore, we're going to be more likely to achieve our health and fitness goals, because in my experience, eating out at restaurants can be one of the biggest Achilles heels to achieving your health and fitness goals, especially achieving your weight loss goals and your body composition goals. So please, please, please take note of these 8 tips. Maybe not all 8 of them, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and start applying them on a week-by-week basis, depending on your situation and your circumstance. If you enjoyed today, make sure you share this episode with a friend or family member. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. And if you're looking for a kickstart and motivation with your fitness routine, in Nashville, we have a few spots left in the 10-week transformation that starts July 15th. If you're not in Nashville, we have a few spots left in the virtual 10-week transformation, also starting July 15th. This can be the summer where you can look and feel your best. This can be the summer where you put aside the excuses of I went to the pool, I went to the lake, I went to the beach, I ate this, I ate that, I drank this, I drank that. And you can actually look and feel your best all summer long and actually be confident when you look at yourself in a bathing suit. So if you're interested in joining, we start July 15th. You can go to nickcarrier.com/10WT to join today. Again, nickcarrier.com/10WT to join today. I hope you guys learned something about how to order more healthily when you go out to restaurants. Therefore, I hope that helps you achieve your health and fitness goals. And lastly, I hope it allows you to get closer and closer to your best you.